Yeah. You ever been in a position where everything and everyone just appears to shut itself out on you? You feel like there's nowhere else you can turn to? If you've been there, you can relate to these next 3 stories. They're not rare. Let's go. From day one, the words that this baby would be a prodigy resonated with every prediction of who he ought to be. Swaddling him with intent to protect until he's walking free into an unforgiving and unrelenting ecology. He'd grow to see so much of it that all the coddling in the world couldn't keep him from feeling like an oddity. It was always apparent, even as a toddler he knew that this life would be brutal with no apology. Shoulder pads and many pairs of Nike stayed on his carpet, scoring in the Super Bowl or to play at the Garden were the things he wanted more than anything else. The elation of it was nothing that could ever be felt by even the closest of confidants, but it's conflicting with what his mother and father wants. He hears them wishing his studies were what his heart was on, making his vision seem like something they thought was wrong. Confidence was all but gone. At least he's staying off the streets. His father said, listen, he's home 5 days a week. His body's red and it's covered in scars. That isn't building character. He heard her voice fade, but knew his choices were scaring her. A boy's athleticism is known to be his outlet. To an overprotective parent, he can be without it, especially if mentally his potential amounted to a golden ticket. Consistently by pressure he's pounded. Set aside are his cleats, ball in the closet. Finishes the semester with these, hardly a gauntlet. First a diploma, next a degree, onward to college. Just as he would expect to be free, his mama is calling, saying, son, we proud. Go and carve out your destiny. Be the engineer or the doctor that you were meant to be. He says, thanks, I'ma get that BS degree, but I wish for the sake of my dream, you were there for me. It feels like everybody just gave up. Maybe they did cause the world changed up, and won't nobody tell them why. They won't tell them why. These are victims of spiritual fallout. When it come to compassion, they're all out. That's what happens when the well runs dry. When the well runs dry. Yeah, in another life, in a not so different plane, resides a woman enduring a self-inflicted pain. By being caught up in image, she prays the wind of change, works a miracle from her slippers to her prescription frames. In the mirror, clothes drop to the floor, confidence elevated, then a single flaw will make her cover herself with hatred. These blemishes are the worst, I hope they melt away with what I'm about to do. Nurse, how can we help the patient? Visiting every doctor and dermatologist, optometrist even. She wants to get all her problems fixed. Not even part of her consciousness is the cost of it. This was all for the sake of acknowledgement. Doctor, this operation can be what revitalizes a spirit if we act on it right away. Nurse, I ain't trying to hear it. Make sure she's in the lobby. I think we should have a chat. A look into his eyes, she's ready to hash the facts. Look, I hate the shape that I have, although I know I shouldn't. It's hard to say I'm attractive when I feel like no one's looking. A dream of mine is to marry and be a mother, but every man on my mind is comparing me to his others. The doctor heard the cries, starting to sense the desperation. Too many times her heart has been wrecked by degradation. Then he says, your operation is next in line. When we're done, you're hardly gonna be recognized. It feels like everybody just gave up. Maybe they did cause the world changed up, and won't nobody tell them why. They won't tell them why. These are victims of spiritual fallout. When it come to compassion, they're all out. That's what happens when the well runs dry. When the well runs dry. Wake up to the sound of tears emanating from the many in a shroud of fear, drawing everything about it in a round of beer, or swerving in a vehicle the power steers. He thinks that's his only way to escape the drama, just because he's never been fully equipped when it came to facing trauma. A look at himself, it couldn't be helped, the fact that he's mentally scarred. The crooks are abundant, he's shook to his stomach and sick in the head and the heart. Dealing with death is a part of his world, the thought of an early end to his start is making him covet survival, but every vice will make it incredibly hard. Vengeance in the name of the fallen, for that he's forsaken his conscience, and the evil energy he once said would be the enemy enemy is now taking him hostage. It's kill or be killed. For some it's a cheap thrill. He ended up in a place where others would eat pills to find themselves permanently still. If he ain't killing himself, he's better than a sheep will. Agents of lust, perpetrators of violence. Anybody trading the word of ever or silence, crying for hope. His life's in a chokehold. Denial of peace and purpose made him a nihilist. There's nothing for him. All that was once important, he gave it up for the rap he was done ignoring. Come on. Feels like everybody just gave up. Maybe they did cause the world changed up, and won't nobody tell them why. They won't tell them why. These are victims of spiritual fallout. When it come to compassion, they're all out. That's what happens when the well runs dry. When the well runs dry. Yeah. Listen, I'm here to tell y'all right now. This world we're living in, man, it's real easy to feel like ain't nothing left to live for. Don't let that be the case. It's hard. It's always gonna be hard. Just try to keep the faith going, man. That's all we can do. That's all any of us can do. Yeah. It never was easy. It never was easy. It never was easy. It never was easy. It never was easy.